right after high school, somebody had told me that there was an opening for a housemaid, and my dad really couldn't afford to let me go, but then he thought it would be a good experience for me because I've always been at home working with the kids and all that, that it would do me good to see what it was like on the outside. So I went to do housework in Seattle. And then the war broke out. And I remember listening to the radio telling me the Japanese had attacked Pearl Harbor. And I was sad. And then here I was in Seattle. All the family were on Bainbridge. And then shortly afterwards, they said, there's no more aliens or the Japanese going back and forth to Bainbridge Island anymore. And somehow I was stuck in Seattle, right? And so then we had, our closest family friend was Mr. and Mrs. Tsujimoto that ran the Rick's Hotel in Seattle. And she was, I called them. I says, I don't know what to do. I said, the war broke out. I can't go home. And she says, well, don't worry. She said, you could evacuate with us when the time comes. You know, the evacuation story had come out. But I don't know how, I don't remember contacting Miss McCullough. She was a missionary from Baptist Church in Seattle that used to come out to Hirakawa's church. And we would she would gather us and we would go to her religion. You know, she'd have a religious group there. Anyway, when I was stuck in Seattle, she called me. I don't know if I called her or she called me, but she said, I will take you to the U.S. Attorney's office. We'll go and see what we could do. So she called me and she made the appointment. And we went to the U.S. Attorney's office one day. And she said, this girl has to go home because she takes place of her mother, and with this evacuation, she's going to be stuck here by herself. Her father with 2 brothers and 2 sisters are on the island, and, you know, that I should belong back home. I don't know what was said at that meeting, but anyway, at the end of the meeting, the attorney said, if you're going to go, I'll give you a permission to leave tonight, but you got to go tonight. And I thought, my gosh, I have to pack. I have to let Mrs. Tsujimoto know I'm going, because Mrs. Tsujimoto always said, if evacuation come and you had to go evacuate, she said, you could come with us. We'll make sure you won't be stranded. But when Miss McCullough says, you know, she would recommend I go home because it was my last chance. So I did go home that day, and I was able to evacuate with the family. Otherwise, I don't know where I would have been. Yeah, so I really had a sad time, I think.